Okay, again, welcome everybody, and I thank you for taking your time out of the evening here to participate. If you're not aware of me, my name is Bud Mertz. I'm the Director of Public Safety for Westmoreland County, and I am serving on my second term as President of the Keystone Emergency Management Association. Welcome to our spring meeting. Just basically an outreach meeting for our membership to have an understanding of the current topics that have been going on with ourselves and our partners, as well as anything that's coming up soon. So we'll get started with our meeting here. First, as we always do, is Jeff Thomas on from KEMA?
Hey, Bud, yeah, I am on.
Outstanding. I would make sure. So first, as we handle our monthly board meetings, we open up our meeting with a briefing from KEMA as far as what's going on the state level. And with that, Director Padfield was invited as well to attend, but he had some other family obligations that took precedence. He talked to us today, and he has sent Executive Deputy Director Jeff Thomas in his place. So Director Thomas, the floor is yours.
Hey, Bud, thank you so much. And to all your membership, just thank you for what is really becoming a stronger and stronger partnership as we move forward. I mean, but I think about this and I look back at 4 or 5 years ago, and when we had competing conferences, and we don't do that anymore. And I really, Randy and I had this conversation the other day that we are really happy with the relationship we have today with KEMA, and I think it can only get stronger. So thank you and your membership for that continued partnership. So I'll give you a couple ideas of things that are going on with us, just quick high-level stuff. So, you know, COVID is really not behind us. We're still doing a lot of public assistance projects for COVID. We're nearing the $1 billion mark in public assistance projects right now in reimbursements from FEMA. So that is a lot of money for our recovery staff to work through. We're still at 100% cost share. So those of you that have costs related to COVID, now is the time to get them in. July, then they're going to go to 90-10. So, and at some point in time, I think we all know that on the federal level, they're going to end the incident period for this. It just is not going to continue forever. Ida hit a lot of the folks in the Northeast, in the Southeast, more than most other places in the state. We're about that's the first IA disaster deck we've had in about 10 years since Bud. You remember, Lee and Irene was the last really IA deck we had. There were some growing pains for us because it's been 10 years and it was in the middle of COVID. So we learned a lot from that. I think we'll learn a lot going forward. But that's ended up to be about $120 million so far in individual assistance and household programs, about $90 million in housing assistance, and about $29 million in other needs assistance. Then mitigation is also available, more mitigation money than we've had in a long time. And I know that impacts a lot of folks that are on this call. We have about $104 million available in mitigation, and we've never had that much. That is COVID as well as IDA and the new Swift Current program. So the NOFO is out. It's pat. We just got it out. I will start by telling you, any of you that are involved in a Homeland Security grant program this year, it stinks. It is such a short turnaround period that it is extremely hard to get done. It is 31 days from the NOFO to the grants have to all be rolled up together and put into the FEMA system. So I apologized when we rolled this out the other day to all the task forces. I'll apologize to you. I'd like to blame it on the feds because it's not our timeline, it's the feds' timeline, but I really do understand how hard it is for everybody. It's not lost on any of us because we're struggling with the same as you are. So what's happened this year is the state Homeland Security program is down about $312,000 for Pennsylvania. And that's unusual because if you look at, not unusual, but the way it's explained is if you look at the federal program has been stable since 2019 and hasn't changed, but yet they've increased gradually every year the minimum amount that states get. So there are a number of states that get minimum amounts. They are small, typically smaller states, and there are larger states like Pennsylvania that get more than the minimum. So it's a zero-sum game, right? As they increase the amount of minimum for the states that get minimum, there's less for the states that don't get minimum. So although the grant stayed the same on a federal level, $312,000 less in Pennsylvania State Homeland Security funds for us to use. Pittsburgh UASC is back. We're really happy about that. At 1.5 million, it was a little higher before, but it is at least back. There used to be 31 urban area security initiatives throughout the state of UASCs. This year they went to 37, and the only one that fell off this year was Honolulu. So there were a number of new ones and only one that fell off. Again, short time frame. We know it's a short time frame. I am kind of happy on the state budget side. So we pushed a long time because there are folks that just, and every one of you on this call have dealt with them, right? These are the folks that there's a disaster that doesn't reach the federal level. There's the SBA, we reach SBA levels, but there are just some folks that don't qualify for SBA, and there's really been no way to help those folks. So in the proposed budget, who knows if it's going to get, through all of the other hoops it has to go through. In the proposed budget, there's a $10 million state IA program. That would be designed to help those folks that fall through the cracks so that we can actually provide some assistance to people that today don't get any assistance. There's also $20 million in there that I'm pretty sure won't have a problem for hazard mitigation match for IDA and COVID-19, because we need to be able to make the match. We all know that in order to accept the federal funds. So if all stays the same, hopefully we will have an IA fund on the state level after the budget passes. One of the things that I will get to KEMA, my staff are looking at the final revisions now. We realize that none of us have enough people, right? When a major disaster hits, we move folks from one program area to the next. You do the same thing in the counties and in the municipalities. So we're putting together an RFP that will be a very encompassing RFP to hire a vendor to provide staff, not just to states, but to also counties and municipalities. So think about the municipality that really wants to run a good mitigation program. They want to do some buyouts and some, turning into green space, but it's a small municipality and they don't have the ability to manage that project. There's project management money available, but some of the municipalities don't even have the ability to run a procurement to be able to get folks to come in to do it. So we're putting out an RFP that will include everything from hazard mitigation experts to floodplain managers to people to work in the EOC. No cost contract, use it when you need it. We're trying to make it available to not just the state, but the counties and municipalities. Now there's procurement issues here, right? So I talked to the executive board of KEMA the other day. When we have this final, and that'll be probably tomorrow, we're going to share it with the KEMA executive board and ask the executive board to see if we missed something, right? When it goes out as an RFP, it's a public document, but until then, I know there's some vendors that are part of KEMA. What you don't want to do is look at that, because you don't want anything that would bar you from bidding if you happen to want to bid. So I appreciate that partnership with KEMA. We don't look at things sometimes with the same lens that municipalities and counties do. So the fact that we want this to be useful to you, so I really appreciate that, Bud, and your executive board for looking at that. The Keystone Mesonet and the iFlows 2.0 update, that's really a good news story. I know some of the counties are helping test with that, but Jeff Jumper's done a good job with that, of really trying to replace the old iFlows program with some newer technology and partnering with universities to help us decide where's the best place to put these new, more high efficient rain gauges and weather sensing equipment. State and local cybersecurity grant, I'm hoping that's going to be out in the next couple of months. That's an 80% pass through. There is a cost share. There's a 10% initial cost share, and it slides up to 40% up to year 2025. I think there's a lot of good that can be done with that. I think we'll have CCAP and PSATs as part of that. We have to put together a statewide cybersecurity oversight board I want to say oversight board, and that's really the wrong word, to develop a statewide cybersecurity program. So I think that there will be a lot of counties that are involved through the associations with that. it's good news. They're putting money into cybersecurity. None of us know what it's going to look like yet. We've only seen some preliminary. We think it's going to look like this. So more to come on that. So in terms of internal updates, one of the things that I'm really happy that we're going to be able to do. All of us in this profession, as this profession has grown, has really changed. There are some of us that are like me, that are like dinosaurs, that were people that were in public safety. My background's law enforcement. You come from law enforcement, you learn to manage incidents, and somehow all of a sudden now you're in emergency management. That's changed. There are now colleges that teach the science of disasters. We have really become a profession. In our case, on the state side, and Bud, I look at you because you worked on the state side for a while, our hiring practices never caught up with that. So we still have classification specs that aren't designed to let bright young folks from college with degrees in emergency management, homeland security come to work for us. We're trying to fix that. We are creating a whole new career ladder that will take that emergency management specialist right from a trainee right out of college all the way up through a program manager. It is 4 steps, and we really hope that we can recruit people and retain people, because we lose a lot of folks because we just don't have upward mobility. This would give us upward mobility. But I think all of us in this business are doing the same thing. All of us are really in that change from, yeah, emergency management is something, to it really is a design defined profession now. And we really have to change our hiring practices. So we're excited about that. A couple other quick things, and I promise to be quiet. We did some updates with the HMRF fund. I know that you're either winners or losers when you change things, but I think that we finally got the guidance out there that it's a little more, it's easier to understand. There's not as many gray areas, right? Here are the limits. Here's a right and left fence, and you can spend in between there. So I think that's a good thing. And our focus on the coming years is going to be hazard mitigation and BRIC. There's a lot of money. We have to make sure we spend it smartly. There's evolving threats. We all know the DVE stuff. We all know what's going on with cyber. I think that the federal government is going to continue to put more initiatives and more influence in how we spend our grant funds. I mean, now it's the national qualification system, it's commodity distribution plans. It is 30% of the Homeland Security money has to go towards directed funding that the federal government has decided what their priorities are. So that is something that I don't think is going to change. I don't see that getting walked back. So I think we're all going to have to learn to live with that. What we need to do is look at our THYRs and our SPRs and be able to close our gaps with the money that is not directed spending. And the last thing is we're working, and it's on my desk now, the draft is updating the EMC certification process to kind of go along with that professionalization of the program, so that hopefully we're going to be able to have folks that can get certified as emergency managers. I think we're going to call this, I want to say professional and journeyman, something like that. But it will allow you, if all goes well, to be able to take that certification, even if you're not a county emergency manager, so that folks in the private sector, folks that are doing this work in other than government, will be able to also get a certification. So they'll have that if they become a county manager like Bud or someone else that's on the phone. So, but I am going to, I apologize for kind of going fast, but I know that you have a lot to go on your agenda. I will certainly be glad to take questions, but thank you again for the opportunity for KEMA to be part of this.
Well, thank you, Director Thomas, for spending your time this evening on their call. And again, yeah, I think that it goes without saying that having the Keystone Emergency Management Association, with the growth that we've had over the years in multiple disciplines, being it either federal, state, local, private sector, having KEMA now becoming part of that has been very important. And I will say that Director Thomas and Director Padfield, along with many other staff at KEMA, participate every month in our monthly board of directors call, and we have a lot that we discuss back and forth, the goods, the bads, and some of the issues that go on. But it's very healthy for KEMA to have that communications and relationship with PEMA moving forward, especially when we start talking about our conference coming up and some of the things that we're working together on that as well. So I thank you there, and I look to see if there's any hands up, if there's anybody has any questions on anything. I don't see anything right now. So again, thank you. And, we'll continue moving forward as we are.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity, all of you. I really do. See you.
Okay, go ahead. So I don't see that Heather Long is on, but I wanted to explain to the membership the addition that we have put on as the IAEM Region 3 representative. And Heather Long is a member of KEMA as well as a member of the IAEM. And she was elected by the IAEM, the International Association of Emergency Managers. She was elected by the IAEM to be the representative for the liaison between the IAEM and KEMA, or Pennsylvania, I should say. So once we've learned who the representative was, we reached out to her, and she now participates on our monthly board of directors calls and has been a very good partner as far as the dialogue and conversation that goes on there, as well as helping with having an IAEM representation at the conference, and dealing with some of the CEM issues and other things. So wasn't going to leave that spot out on the agenda, that she couldn't make it tonight, but it's again looking now, besides KEMA in that statewide footprint, we're also building the relationships outside, especially with the Region 3 IAEM. Aside from Heather Long's participation on our board, myself and Vice President Gerlach participate in a bi-monthly call with the IAEM Region 3. They started a committee up of state associations. So the presidents, leaderships of the state associations within Region 3 has a bi-monthly call that we discuss things as well. So continue to moving forward and building the relationships that we need to make us stronger. With that, I want to get into the briefing of the KEMA conference, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Vice President Gerlach.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a reminder, the website for the conference, which is updated as necessary, is KEMAconference.com. First, I want to start off with sharing my screen here. I want to I put a committee together, and I want to thank the members that have been meeting every Monday at 1300. Greg Crossley from PA VOAD, Shannon Evans from the Allegheny County Department of Human Services, Heather Long, who is emergency manager for the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, but as President Mertz stated, she's with AEM Region 3. Amy Marie with Butler County, President Mertz with Westmoreland County. We have a representative from each of the area offices. Rob Payne, which I believe I see he's on, from the Central Area Office. Chris Helford from the Western Area Office. And if you look down below, Mike Wasco from the Eastern Area Office. Additionally, Media Past President, Director Shipley from Fayette County, and also Chris Tantlinger from the Westmoreland County Department of Public Safety. This is a long haul taking on myself, so I'm glad to put the committee together. We also have a presentation review subcommittee. They're currently reviewing the presentations for the conference. The three area directors, Evelyn Fisher from the Central Area, Tanya Hook from the Eastern Area, and Frank Janae from the Western Area. We also have Molly Doherty from PEMA, and also from PA VOAD, Julia Menzo. And of the executive board, of course, is the final say of the advisory. Some important dates. Right now, the presentations, the call for presentation ended last Friday. They are currently in the hands of the selection committee to score them. And they're hopefully going to get them all to me by the end of tomorrow. The current plan of important dates is to have the presentations chosen and notify the speakers to confirm their attendance on May 27th or by May 27th. So then we can start early bird registration on June 6th, which will run through July 3rd. Regular registration will be July 4th through September 11th, and then late registration will be September 12th through October 7th. We added a day, so it starts off on a half day on Saturday afternoon, full day Sunday, full day Monday, and then a half day of the morning of Tuesday. So we're going to split the registration into, you can do a full conference or a half conference. A half conference is either the first half or the second half. We did it that way basically because many of our municipal coordinators, the VOED members, are volunteers and have to work during the week. And so that way we created the Saturday afternoon and the full day Sunday, so that if they can't be there Monday and Tuesday, they can at least get some parts of the conference. The current cost that it'll be for KEMA members is for half conference is $100, for early bird registration $150 for full conference. And then regular registration, it just goes up by $50 per tier. And for non-members, it's just $50 more than the membership fee. Just a reminder, the dates are October 22nd through the 25th. Originally, when we planned and picked those dates, it was a Penn State away weekend, but Penn State changed their schedule. So we do have limited rooms at the hotel that's attached to the convention center. The overflow that we used across the street, the previous in-person conference, is unfortunately full. So there might be some difficulty getting some close hotel rooms, at least for that Saturday night. Hopefully by Sunday, you'll be able to get, easier ways in to the conference. That's pretty much the end of the conference update, unless anyone has any other questions regarding the conference itself.
Just to add to that, Bob, that the attendance of the KEMA conference is eligible for credit for a lot of the county's mandated IST training. So
yeah, I did forget to say that. Yeah, thanks to the participation and working relationship with KEMA, they're assisting quite a bit, and they're going to allow this as a attendance for an IST. And they are, as you saw with the committee, we have at least one representative from each of the area offices that is part of the the committee. And we probably would not, I know we would not have been able to put this conference on if it wasn't from the support of KEMA, due to the virtual conference was not as successful as we hoped it to be, and we did take quite a big hit financially on that.
And one more thing to add to that is that we are actively seeking sponsorship and vendors. So,
oh yes, I did forget to bring that up. We do have, so far to date, thank you for the reminder, we've brought in $8,953, and we currently have 4 sponsors: AT&T FirstNet, MCM, JH Consulting, and FEMA iPods. So if you have any of your vendors that may want to be a sponsor or an exhibitor, send them to KEMAconference.com. They can click on the link that says sponsorship or vendor opportunities, and all the information is there, and it can take them straight to the link so that they can register.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions as far as the conference go? If not, we'll continue now with our meeting, and we will go into our officer reports. Director Shipley, who is our immediate past president, had a change of schedule and was unable to make it for tonight. And he called with an alibi, and we'll move on. And Vice President Gerlach, you have anything?
Yes, sir. As President Murr stated, same with Director Thomas, how the change of emergency management has occurred over the past decades. First of all, also to highlight, 2022 is KEMA's 45th birthday. So we are 45 years old. One of the things we've changed, the board has changed recently, was our awards. Pretty much the annual awards were written basically for municipal or county coordinators. And since we realize that emergency management, emergency preparedness is all sectors, private sector, public sector, hospitals, critical infrastructure, utilities, those kind of things, we revised, and we even added one, award. So the Harry Robidoux Award for Excellence in Emergency Management is awarded to a member of KEMA who is an emergency management practitioner that exhibits all that's good and right in emergency management. The Paul R. Beatty Partnership Award acknowledges an individual, an institution, or organization that strives to enhance cooperation and collaboration in fostering emergency management principles. The Glenn Cannon Visionary Award is awarded to an individual, an institution, or organization whose trailblazing work has positively impacted emergency management within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Furthermore, their efforts have made a unique and distinctive contribution to the advancement in the field of emergency preparedness and management. We have a Municipal Emergency Management Award for Excellence that recognizes a municipal level emergency management coordinator, deputy, or staff member who demonstrates exemplary performance as indicated by the level of excellence or achievement that is above and beyond what is considered normal duties of the candidate. And then the Spirit of KEMA Award recognizes emergency management professionals who have worked to advance KEMA's mission and to forge partnerships that seek to advance the emergency management profession. And all these awards can be made to any member that is in good standing by any member who's in good standing. And we will be opening up the nominations within the next month or so for those positions. The other thing I forgot to mention that I have here is, oh no, never mind. That's for the my committee report. Disregard. That's all I have there, Director or President.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to our treasurer, Tony P.
Thank you, Director. For the Keystone Emergency Management Association, the checking account, we have $14,969.60. The savings is $494.30. With the Wells Fargo, we'll have $15,463.90. The CD for First Commonwealth Bank is $13,916.67. And that's the balances of the amount of money we have right now. As if some of your members have been here a while, the Treasury is down due to the amount of money we spent on our virtual conference last year. We did not get as many participants as we expected, and the vendor support was not there. So it really brought us down as far as how much we have in our Treasury now. And hopefully this conference, we can build up that surplus again. And we, as far as working with also the vendors and the members, paying for the, their conference fees and things like that, I think, we'll hopefully have additional money in the Treasury. Is there any questions for the Treasurer?
Hearing no further questions, I thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
We'll continue on with our Secretary's report. Amy Marie.
Thank you, President Mertz. From the Secretary's standpoint for KEMA, I want to thank everyone who has the patience that and has kept their information up in Member Planet. KEMA uses Member Planet as our primary source of communication, both for paying dues and getting information out, as well as scheduling events. So those members who are on with us tonight, if you could kindly please go into your Member Planet membership account and make sure that we have the correct email so you are able to receive the information that we do send out for meetings such as this one or any other information that pertaining to the upcoming conference, etc. If anyone has any problems with Member Planet, please don't hesitate to send me an email at kemasecretary@gmail.com, and we will be more than happy to assist you through that. One good point about Member Planet is that if you forgot your password, it's okay. There's a link that you can go ahead and then click on to reset your own password. So again, it's very user-friendly for Member Planet, and it's not very complicated. So again, I just implore you to make sure that your information is correct so we can have that information to be able to provide the correspondences that we do with KEMA. And President Mertz, that's all I have from a secretary report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, with that, I'll just go into a little president's report based on the last year of the board members' activities. And I first have to say that the board has been very a hardworking board as far as attending monthly meetings that we have, running the business of KEMA and moving forward with the vision and the directions that we have that meets our mission, as well as the inclusiveness of multiple levels of emergency management professionals. And I think that we work very hard in doing that. We don't want to be recognized as the KEMA County Association, just representing the counties or locals or anything else like that, or government emergency management professionals. That in our vision going forward, as it has been basically, that we want to encourage the participation with the health system emergency managements, the intermediate units, and the school district emergency managements, and a lot of the private sector emergency management. And so we've done an awful lot of outreach in order to bring them in as partners as well. Relationship with VOAD continues to be strong. I know Greg Crosley's on the call, part of the PA VOAD team, but they're working together real close with us to be part of our conference coming forward. So it's going to be an inclusive, it's going to stay and build a stronger association by being inclusive of emergency management professionals across the board, no matter if it's public, private, or academia, health service, or whatever. And that's what we continue to work on. I have to thank the board, as you heard the reports that they gave today and the hard work that they're doing on the conference and some of the other meetings. And we're going to continue with the other part of the board being the regional directors and presidents of KEMA. But each and every one of them participate in a sometimes 2.5 hour meeting once a month in order to move things forward. So I just want to acknowledge the hard work that they do in meeting the KEMA's mission. So with that being said, I'm going to continue on with Eastern Area President, John Matz, Director Matz.
Good evening, everyone. Could you hear me okay, bud? I'm working off a handheld.
Yep, you're doing well.
Okay. First of all, I did have a discussion with Tanya today, and we were looking at any type of novel ideas that we could take on a county level and then make available to our partners in other counties that may give us more option to bring individuals from the private sector into KEMA and into just being better community partners with us. Coming up in the next week or so, Schuylkill's doing a tabletop exercise with our high hazard dams. I know Tanya has just completed one with the American Red Cross. That sounds like it's very successful. So between some of these exercises that counties may have done, it could be something that could be serve as an easy model for us to emulate on a county level, and also give us an opportunity to reach out to our partners in industry, partners in the schools and healthcare in particular, and bring them into the fold. I think that's really where we all have to start going. Hopefully now that we're back to in-person ISTs on the county level, we'll have a little bit more time to interact on a quarterly basis with our peers. And the other part we have to look at is what do we have on the county level between our local emergency coordinators, making sure that we are maintaining communication with them, and also with some of our partners. In particular, I'm thinking the Aries Races group, because right now they are participating with a FEMA program over this weekend for flooding. So I think these are all avenues that we have to be able to strengthen our organization, strengthen our county organizations, and eventually bringing all of them into KEMA, we'll have a strong statewide organization. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. We'll continue on with our Eastern Area Director, Tanya Hook. Tanya?
I'm sorry, I can't really talk right now. John covered it for me.
Okay, Tanya, thank you.
Thank you.
Understood. Okay, we have a space for Tony Subio as the Central Area President and Evelyn Fisher as the Central Area Director, and I don't believe either are on, and they have written, notified the Secretary that they were unable to attend, if I'm correct. And we'll go on with our Western Area President, Alan Clark. Director Clark.
Hey, good evening, everyone. President Mertz talked about a lot of things that the board's been doing in the Western area. Director Frank Giannetti, I don't believe, is on tonight from Mercer. He's on the 911 committee representing his county. And I'm also on a FEMA Regional Advisory Committee for FEMA Region 3. So a lot of good representation from our counties to the state and to the federal level. Also, a couple coordinators, myself and Dale Robinson from Erie County, were assisting PEMA on implementing lifelines into our emergency operations centers and plans. So it's been great working with PEMA. There's other counties involved in that work group as well, and it's good to see PEMA having a work group of all levels of government working together for those initiatives. Looking forward to after COVID, do some more get-togethers, more exercises, more face-to-face meetings, and again, reaching out to those other partners in healthcare, chemical industry, education, and others. So thank you, President Mertz.
Thank you, Alan. And another alibi for tonight, Director Frank Giannetti. They had scheduled, I guess, some of the post-training from the nuclear power plant exercise up there this evening for his county, and he was unable to attend. But as Alan had mentioned, aside being the Western Area Director, Director Giannetti also is the KEMA representative for the state 911 board, and does a good job with that and follows up with reports from that committee. Okay, continue on now. We'll go to our committee reports. We do have a media and public relations committee. However, we have some vacancy in there right now. We're actively seek volunteers that would want to serve and be part of the board as a committee chair. If anybody's interested, please feel free to reach out to us. We have the KEMA annual meeting committee, and as you heard earlier, Bob Gerlach is the chair of that. Bob, you have anything else you're adding for that?
Yeah, just for the annual meeting. The annual meeting will happen, it will occur during the KEMA conference on Monday evening. And during the elections this year, the officer positions that are up for election are the vice president, the treasurer, and the 3 area presidents. So those positions will be available for nominations short in a month or so, and we will vote on those during the meeting. That's all I have for the annual meeting report.
President Murch, you're
Mr. President,
muted.
you're still muted.
Yeah, you'd think I'd get the hang of this yet. Okay, our mentorship committee chair is Elizabeth Hess, and I believe she is on.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
So just kind of an overview. We started the mentorship committee several years ago now. Haven't done all that much with mentoring one-on-one directly, but I'd love to do that in the future. So I'd love to get someone on board to kind of help facilitate that component. But what I have been focusing on is KEMA coffee breaks. So they're virtual sessions focused on emergency management topics. Started out of, our first one was May 2020, just kind of as a means to connect with the community. And it was we focused on planning in the new virtual world. So how to take our planning processes and adapt them virtually. So that was a good one. To date, we've had a total of 9, with our most recent one being today at 3 o'clock. Looking forward, we have some interest with KEMA to do some future sessions on some of their changes coming forward. Cybersecurity session may be our next one if I can get the right contact for that. I'd like to do some mitigation case studies. So if anyone on this call themselves or knows of a county that has done some great mitigation efforts, I'd love to do a case study or 2 on that. And then I'm always looking for topic ideas. This most recent one was vulnerable populations. We've talked about the fundamentals of planning, returning to exercises post-COVID, healthcare disaster preparedness overview, crisis communications. We did one on FEMA mitigation grants, on the FMA and the BRIC grant, and then looking at online and blended learning opportunities. And then back in June of 2020, real world after action reports, as we were all coming into a very long after action report season. So outreach, for some context, this has resulted in like the most recent session, 13 of the people registered said they are not currently members and they're interested in becoming members. So that's great to see. We typically see around 40 people registered and about 50% return on that for the actual session, which I totally understand. So yeah, looking for help to connect the actual mentor component of this and connect students coming either in college or soon out of college with employers, with internship opportunities, and even just working on those soft skills so they're as ready as they can be for the field. I'm also connecting with Heather Long, the IEM liaison, to work on potentially putting together a work group to kind of work towards our CEM to help motivate each other and keep us all on a schedule. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Thank you, Liz. Great report. And as far as the coffee break sessions go, I believe, and Bob, you can verify this, they are posted on our website as well as our YouTube channel. If you want to add into
We're
that.
posted on our YouTube channel shortly. I just got the link for today, so I'll work on that in this meeting over the next few days or the weekend and get it posted. Then the secretary sends a mass email out to the membership.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. With that, we'll now go into the membership committee. And I know that Todd Lake is on. I'm going to jump let him jump in here since we haven't heard from him today. Todd, you still there?
Yes, Director, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Anything new on your side?
I'm mobile. I'm out in Dayton, Ohio for the International Hamvention out here. So getting ready to go see all the amateur radio people. But been working, trying to get counterparts. I know I've got a couple counterparts from the state hospitals and working on the corrections. Just to quickly talk about mentorship, I actually am pulling in an intern from the Pentech, Dave Borkman's program out there that's going to be at the state hospital starting here probably next week. So, I wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for KEMA, and between Dave Borkman and myself and stuff like that. So, KEMA's helping some of these young kids come out. So, and I do know that, he's pushed a lot of them to be able to be members. I know this young man that I'm going to be interning is a member. Like I say, still keep pushing out there. I brought up a little bit. I was at my county LEPC meeting just this morning, and I would, try to reiterate that to other directors out there or other people that belong to their county LEPCs, that to get those, because most of those people that are at those meetings are emergency managers for their companies. So it's a good avenue. That's all I have.
Thank you, Todd. And for those of you who don't remember Todd, obviously a county director, EMA director, past president of KEMA. He went into the private sector and in the health industry, and he's still representing emergency management on that side of it. And he's doing a lot of outreach for us. Okay, with that.
It's technically not private. I'm a state employee. I'm one of them. I went to the other side.
Okay, that's correct. You are. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, still in the health industry as well. So he still can make those contacts.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, Amy Marie. You have anything more on the membership?
Just one thing I wanted to stress is the membership to KEMA is our greatest and most valuable asset. So we are grateful for those who are on the call this evening, as President Mertz has mentioned. Anyone who has a friend or wants to become a KEMA member, please reach out to us. And it's very simple process to become a member, and it's not very expensive. And one of the common themes, as you've heard throughout the meeting, is that emergency management is across all sectors, private and the pub and county, local. One of the initiatives we do want to work on is getting more municipal coordinator part of our KEMA group, so our association. So anyone who is maybe on the call that is a municipal coordinator and has any interest in perhaps pursuing the committee with us, please reach out to me and let me know, and we will be more than happy to work with you. It's not very time consuming, but it is a very integral part of Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is our municipal coordinators. And that's all I have. Tony, I'm not sure if you have anything that you'd like to add. Thank you.
The only thing I'd like to add is if you're signing up for KEMA through the Member Planet, to after you pay your, put your credit card in and pay your dues, then you have to click on the link to update your information. We did actually have an incident where somebody had paid their dues and never received any information from us. And the reason they didn't receive the information was their emails were not in the Member Planet. So we would like to make sure that if you're paying through Member Planet, that you go in and update your file, at least with your email, because as Amy and we've always stressed, all our communications now are through Member Planet. So if you have any questions or problems about your membership, you can always send it to the membership@KEMA.com, or everyone I think has my email and Amy's email too. So we can help you with that. Thank you.
Thank you to that committee. All right, and with that, just to give you a little bit of a legislative update, it's not very much, but I wanted to make sure that to let you know that myself and other members of the KEMA board have been active in advocating for Title 35 rewrite and other emergency management issues with the state legislature. I've gone to met with the executive directors of the Senate Republican Senate Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee, on the Democratic side, as well as the House executive directors. We've met with Senator Stefano, who's the chair of the Senate side, and we continue to actively push for recognition that says that basically tells them 40 years now we've been trying to get an update to the Title 35, and there's been little move to it. But you know, when you do the advocacy to your state legislators, you know, it's good to do it in person, where you're face to face. You get to shake a hand and you build that relationship up so that they understand the seriousness of it and where you're coming from. So we continue to push forward. Obviously, it's a difficult task right now in this environment, but I can say that the dialogue's there, the communications is there, and I think that once those bodies decide to move forward with it, the KEMA will definitely be at the table to help guide it in the best direction that we see. All right, now we'll go to the remarks for the good of the association. Is there anything from the floor? Any of the members that want to give a comment, suggestion, good, bad, indifferent? Just like to hear from you folks. I know you're out there. I see a lot of names on the board. Greg Crosley, do you have anything you want to add on the VOAD side?
Just that anything I can do to foster that good relationship between the association and the state VOAD, now that I have a little bit of a voice, not that much, but a little bit on the state level, I'm very happy. Coming from the EM side as a local coordinator, anything I can do, and I sing the praises of KEMA as much as possible in the board meetings, and they maybe get a little tired of hearing me, but that's okay. You know, but yeah, anything just, I think it's a wonderful relationship and it needs to continue.
Thank you, Greg. Anything else from the membership? I'll ask one more time, just in case somebody's shy. You don't have to be shy. Okay, so I'm just going to close it out in saying that, you know, I talk highly on the activities of the board because I do see the work that they do on all the committees that they work on, especially now that we're working in the on the conference and trying to have a successful conference. But I also have to say that, you know, it's just not up to the board. Engagement from the membership is well encouraged. I know when going out in some of the different trainings and seeing and going to Harrisburg at some of the meetings, that there is discussion with that. So I welcome any of the members to be part of us. If give us a call, you can talk to me directly if you have special interests of anything that you want to steer. We have committees, but hey, I'm president, I can invent new committees too. So, you know, we just open it up to anything that really serves our mission and is a comprehensive tactic, so to speak, that involves across the board the professionalism of emergency managers. So feel free to jump in. But thank you all for attending tonight, and hope you have a good night and a good weekend. I see it's going to be in a little warm this weekend, so I hope everybody stays safe and gets to enjoy and relax. Thank you all.